Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table we've got the Vision Plus out because it was ready equipped to have a look at some new prop guards from the guys at Bestham USA. These are bigger and taller, and so might have a particular use case for some of you, especially if you do a lot of flying either indoors or in close proximity to people. So we're going to have a quick look at those. Before we do that though, it's the kitchen table. We always have a beverage when we're discussing our drones, and today we're on the coffee again because it's another early morning one, and it's once again gone back to the Guatemalan. It's the home roasted Guatemalan from Cuchimatan. So cheers. Oh, I'm going to have to move that out of the way. So yes, I was sent these by Bestham to look at. The Phantom Guard Tall. Now you might remember I did a review a while back of their Phantom Guards, which is what's being sported on the back. And basically the thing about this system is they come with, they're quick release. So they come with a kind of base plate that you screw into they come with the screws that you acquire, different screws for the 2 and the 3 series, which is nice, that you screw into a couple of the motor mounting holes there. And then this gives you a quick release system. So all you do is squeeze some tabs at the back, which I can't do behind the camera, a bit awkward, and they come off. And these are molded really nicely. They're relatively light, and you know, they do a job quite well. There are a couple of things that I noticed about them is that you know, they have a little bit of flex. So if you do a really big impact into a wall, say, you might find that might foul the prop. But as a kind of a protection mechanism, which is easier to travel with, they seem to work well. And I'll just show you. There, so you can see how they work. They basically just covered the rotor there, but if there was a bit of pressing in, I don't know if we can see there, you could just see that could just be hit still, but it would certainly do. So I think what they've decided is that, yep, they've taken on board some of those things and they've brought out a new version. I'm going to take this to compare and contrast for you. They've brought out what they're calling the Phantom Guard Tall, which, as you can see, is, wow, that's pretty tall. I'll just do a comparison. Here's the original. Let me just, by the magic of me fumbling around, I'll overlay. You can see the difference, and perhaps more dramatically, you can see the difference in height there. So if I spin this off, so whereas before we had that issue with the, let's get it the right way around. Whereas before we had that issue, you can see there is now a massive amount of clearance. There's a massive amount of clearance, and you'd have to have some quite serious impact before that was gonna impact on the prop. Also, there is a big height there. I think one of the things, as I said, they're aimed for is they're noticing, you know, lots of people want to fly indoors in stadiums or wherever you've got permission to fly indoors at an event or whatever, if it's legal and permitted for you to do so. The lower type of guards from both third parties and DJI's one as well meant that you were still prone to some damage if you clipped the ceiling. With these, the only thing that's standing taller than these is the actual hub of the prop. So that should provide a good level of protection. You've also got, really, there's hardly anything that's going to get in there. The only thing I would say is that they will catch, there's more of them, and although they're thin, there's more of them, going to be slightly heavier, they will catch more of the wind. I probably would suggest that unless you're in a really safety critical situation, you would probably not want to fly with prop guards on in any kind of stiff breeze. They will act like a sail a bit and catch it, and could cause you to get some twitchy response. I know that's one of the reasons I personally don't use prop guards, apart from the fact that I don't fly in situations where they might be necessary. That's just me. But if you do, just watch out on windier days. Of course, one of the main use cases for these taller ones has been to sort of, you know, added protection, but also if you're flying indoors where that's not going to be an issue. you're not going to get any impact from the breeze. As with the previous Beston products, you know, they're really well made and molded. I mean, these are all proper. There's no 3D printing here. These are all properly injection molded parts, really nicely finished, really cleanly done. These are, I mean, you know, there's no burrs on here. There's no molding flashing left on. These are not a cheaply and quickly done. Like most of Beston stuff, it always seems to be, you know, very well finished, very well produced, very well thought out. I'll put a link. I'll put a link down here somewhere in the description. So if you want to have a look at those, I'll put a link and the price, because I haven't got that at the moment. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, so I think if you're in the market for prop guards, if you were concerned about the OEM or some ones like this that didn't have that kind of depth of clearance for you and left things a bit exposed, these might well be worth a good look. Many thanks indeed for your time as ever, and I hope you found it interesting. It's good to still see that there are, you know, products coming onto the market from third parties that are innovating. I really, it's one of the things I like about the whole drone thing. You know, we're not all reliant on waiting for the manufacturers to come out with their things. I think it's really great that we've got third parties like Beston and like others who are producing stuff for all of us to enjoy if that's what you want. So many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon back on the kitchen table. Until then, cheers.